Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to this training. I sure hope that you're all doing well and your family and friends are also staying healthy and well. As the weeks have been going by, we certainly have been seeing more and more communities that have some measure of COVID positive residents. One of the challenges is going to be, or already is, as the communities around us go back to more open living with businesses and restaurants and things opening up and people getting back together, even if they're using social distancing. So it's a great time to reinforce healthy and safe practices. So if we get more outbreaks in our communities, then the risk for bringing the virus in also increases. So unfortunately, I don't think that we're out of the woods yet. It would be easy to think so since the states are starting to open back up again and getting commerce going. Surely the infection is gone and the virus is at a dull roar. But what we can see from the CDC and other legitimate resources is that we've been able to flatten the curve of the virus. So that's good. That's good. That was the original intention, but the virus is not gone by any means. But our healthcare systems are at the point where they can finally keep up with taking care of the people that are getting ill. I'm sure you're all seeing those nightly news reports about the death tolls going up. A lot of those people are in our long-term care facilities. It's sad to say, but it's still a deadly virus for our elderly residents. So I think that vigilance and really trying to make sure that we're doing absolutely everything we can in our long-term care facilities is very important. And if we're COVID negative now, then let's make sure that we stay that way. So I want to note here that I am also reviewing the guidance on infection control from CMS, what state surveyors are looking for. They have a new survey for COVID-19 focus on nursing homes. And of course, they are focusing on hand hygiene and the personal protective equipment, making sure that we are washing our hands properly and also putting on and taking off those PPEs correctly. So please, let's continue to work together. Keep the momentum going. Support one another as much as you can. And let's gain a little bit more education about why we are doing what we do. As we prepare for many businesses to reopen, the risk for the spread of COVID-19 will increase. So at this point, I feel it's very important to continue to reinforce cleaning, disinfecting, and sanitizing, and putting that into practice regularly, reviewing some of the ways we do that and some of the common items that we need to emphasize. So let's review some basic objectives for this course. I want you to understand why increasing disinfecting efforts is important. Review self-care, visualize the coronavirus, understand the role of soap, learn the differences between cleaning, disinfecting, and sanitizing. Review common areas that need more emphasis in cleaning, disinfecting, and sanitizing. Review what PPEs are and how to handle them, and hand washing. Take care of yourself. Did you know that you can only truly care for others around you if you first take care of yourself? We've got to take into account our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. There's a lot of different definitions out there for good health, but you must decide what you need to create a healthy body, mind, and spirit so you can be there 100% for others. Taking care of yourself can be very broad, but here's a couple of the basics. As far as your diet is concerned, you're going to be on the right track if you simply consume 5 fruits and vegetables every day. Practice good hygiene. Get regular exercise. Even 10 minutes of walking a day is great. Plus, you're going to get the vitamin D from the sun. Practice stress reduction. Practicing stress reduction can be as simple as this. You're preparing food. Maybe you're chopping up an onion. And you just take the time to be mindful about the process and you acknowledge the breath. You're still chopping up the onion. You're completely aware of the activity. You take time to notice the breath going in, and you take time to notice the breath going out. Taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself means finding a healthy balance with the body, mind, and spirit. I wanted to take just a little bit of time to talk about how important this is. Your role in this community is vital. And if you are going to take care of yourself, your families, and the community at large, we need to also take some time focusing on how to create a healthy immune system. Now think back to the beginning of this presentation, thinking about the image of Superwoman, or if you're a man, Superman, and just knowing that if you have the tools, the support, and the education, then you really can fight this coronavirus, and you can help yourself and you can help others around you. Okay, so we'll start to get into the educational aspect about the coronavirus. So here is a caricature of what the coronavirus looks like. You see the spike proteins, the orangish red things that help the virus enter the cell. And you see the yellow and brown lipid membranes that are surrounding the molecule. And you see over here on the right the soap molecules. They have a hybrid structure. So they have two different elements to them. The hydrophilic head, which is attracted to water, and the hydrophobic tail, which is attracted to fat. So when you look over at the coronavirus and you remember that the yellow and brown surrounding structure is a fat, a lipid, so then you might be able to visualize that soap molecule, which has the hydrophobic tail, the tail that's attracted to the lipid or to the fat. And since it's attracted to the lipid or the fat, looking again over at the coronavirus structure, it's going to be able to wiggle its way into that structure and interrupt the virus. So the soap can literally destroy the virus, and you can see those little squiggly guys with the tails going in first, which are attracted to the lipid part of the coronavirus structure. They start to wedge themselves into the lipid membrane and thus tear it apart, disrupting the molecule and essentially killing it. So it's great to really see and visualize what these molecules look like. You can see the yellow molecules, the lipid molecules that are surrounding the virus, and then you're seeing the soap molecules with the blue heads that are attracted to the yellow molecules, and they're wedging their way in between the molecules of the virus, essentially tearing them apart and destabilizing the entire virus. All right, so now that we know that you are the superhero and you can visualize what the coronavirus looks like, let's talk about the nitty-gritty about disinfecting, sanitizing, and cleaning. Cleaning, disinfecting, and sanitizing are part of a broad approach to preventing infectious diseases. Though these terms are often used interchangeably, it is important to note that they are actually quite different. So think about the triangle here. While cleaning is sufficient in short term for certain surfaces, it is essential to regularly carry out the full regimen of cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting to really eradicate viruses and bacteria of threat. Alright, so to completely disinfect the food contact areas, which is very important for preventing the spread and transmission of germs and viruses, we're going to first use soap and water, typically in the green buckets. Then we're going to use an EPA-approved disinfectant provided for you by your manager. Next, you're going to rinse with plain water and a clean cloth, and then you're going to top it off with some sanitizing solution, typically in the red buckets. Alright, now that your area is completely disinfected, your countertops will be sparkling clean and sterile. You'll have removed any viruses, germs, bacteria, COVID-19, or any other contaminants. So keep up the good work. So what exactly is the difference between these terms? Cleaning is essentially removing the germs, wiping down a tray cart, for example. To sanitize is to use a sanitizing solution to reduce the germs to an acceptable level. And to disinfect is to kill the germs in a high temperature dishwasher, for example. using an EPA registered product, or using a chlorine bleach solution. Now we'll review a cleaning rotation. Heightened infection control to control infection disease outbreak in community or potential infection disease local area. Because of the need for heightened infection control at this time to control disease outbreak or the potential for infection, we need to just review procedures to make sure that everyone is on the same page and that the procedures are clear. We're going to clean, disinfect, and sanitize just about everything we touch, but we also need to emphasize the disinfection. For example, you were probably already cleaning, disinfecting, and sanitizing things that go into the dishwasher like the can opener, the blender, the food processor, but we're also going to have to take an extra step to clean the outsides of these surfaces that we touch. Also, the tables and the counters, you were probably sanitizing them before, but we need to take the extra step to disinfect at the end of every shift. Other things that should be cleaned after each use and disinfected after each use. Dining room tables and chairs. I know we're not using as many of those right now, but maybe some of those are being used for certain residents. Carts that go out to residents' room or care areas. Very important here to clean, sanitize, and disinfect after each use. And any items that would go into a resident's room and do not go into the dishwasher. Also take those 3 steps. And I know that you're already doing this, but I'll say it again because we have to keep up the momentum. Disinfect more often, or at least daily. Even better at the end of each shift. Handles, knobs, doors, etc. And there's just handles all over the place. Handles for the oven, handles for the coolers, for the deep freeze, for the toaster oven, just handles everywhere, so just look around. Now let's review. You are the warriors. Your role in this community and beyond is vital. Food is essential. It provides nourishment, sustainability, good health, immune boosting properties. Self-care is important. You have to take care of yourself in a balanced sort of way so you can be 100% present. We've got to clean, disinfect, and sanitize more often. In bringing this presentation together today, I want you to know that you are supported and that communication is vital. For example, if you're being asked to disinfect more often, we need to make sure that we have the product on hand. Communicate with your dietary manager if you notice that you're running short, for example. Be efficient. Try to determine how you can be efficient with your team members. For example, you may come up with systems where you and your teammate are doing tasks together. For example, one person is going around and spraying down the handles, and the other person is coming behind and wiping. Know when to ask for help. If you feel that you're at the end of your rope and can't do one more thing, please ask for help. PPEs. What are they and why are they important? PPEs, the explanation is in the name. Personal protective equipment. There's plenty of ways to make a mask. A mask should fit snugly but comfortably against the side of the face. Be secured with ties or ear loops. Include multiple layers of fabric. Allow for breathing without restriction. And be able to be laundered in a machine and dried without damage or change to the shape. And when removing the mask, do so carefully. You should not touch your eyes, nose, and mouth when removing the mask. And immediately wash your hands for the full length of time, singing happy birthday. Hand washing is one of the best ways to protect yourself, your family, and others around you from getting sick. Key times to wash your hands include before eating food, after using the toilet, after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing, after touching garbage. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, CDC has added, after you've been in a public place or touched an item or surface that may be frequently touched by other people. Also, before touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, because that's how germs enter our bodies. In review, hand washing. One of the very most important things that you can do to prevent the spread of the coronavirus and many other viruses and germs. Follow these 5 steps every time. Wet your hands with clean running water. Turn off the tap and apply the soap. Lather your hands by rubbing them together with soap. Lather the backs of your hands between your fingers and underneath your nails. Scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. Sing happy birthday from beginning to end twice. Rinse your hands, you're done.